if it ain't loco,
it ain't fire, daddy.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to G Talks Wrestling. It's your boy Alex G, and today I'm sitting with Jaime Martinez. Let's get it right.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Say the government name, my bad, bro.
No, it's okay.
AKA Jaime.
Oh yeah, I know Jaime. Yeah, I know. AKA Jaime. Yes, sir. You already know. Jaime's a pioneer. Jaime's his own man. He's in his own lane. And you know what I'm saying? If it ain't loco,
it ain't fire, daddy.
Yes, sir. Straight up, man. How you doing?
Man, pretty good, man. It's been like the last couple of weeks have been pretty hectic. So, just promoting the show, doing the podcast rounds. I've been doing a couple of like shows here and there, promoting, just passing out flyers and going to shows, just doing it the old-fashioned way.
I know, bro, doing a promo run right now. You know what I'm saying? He's on tour, the Jaime tour right now.
Yeah. No, but the thing is I like to show love to the podcast, and whoever wants to I spread the local wrestling gospel.
Local wrestling gospel, of course, bro. I know, because when I first started, I'm talking about I had probably 50 followers. And I was just like, who should I interview, this and that. You actually slid in and you were like, hey, bro, whenever you're ready, just let me know. So it's only right. You're the first. You're the first one on the podcast.
For sure, I appreciate that because, I don't know, man. Just, I'm happy to do this. Whenever people ask me, I'm always down because I did podcasting before. I even did promoting.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I did it with some couple of homies. And we just we talked about the Houston scene. We went to a lot of the shows. Yeah. Did reviews here and there, and then had guests, interviewed.
Like a wrestling? Or?
Yeah, like a wrestling podcast. We interviewed Q, Gino. A lot of the local
Pioneer.
guys, BK.
Yeah.
Some old school guys, because I've been a fan for a while, so interviewing old school guys is kind of my thing. I'm an old head. Yeah. Considering I like new shit, but I still consider myself an old head.
But you're not one of those old heads that are like, oh, they don't do it like the old days.
No. It's not like that, man. Because you gotta embrace the new shit,
right?
And I love the new shit. The new shit's fire, bro.
That's true, bro. That's true. That's respect too, bro. Because a lot of people. What happened?
You gotta evolve.
Oh yeah, you gotta evolve, or you get left behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Because for the longest time we sat there and. Man, we watched all these old school ass shows from the early 2000s to the 2010s here in Houston, and they were good. Right. They were good for that time, and it never changed. And then me and some friends, we started doing some different shit, but it just didn't pop off. I feel like we're ahead of our time. Yeah. And I feel like now they didn't dig it, but now they dig it because it's I feel like old is new, and I gave them what I'm giving them now. I gave them 5 years ago, but now I guess Russ is more popular with the super indies,
popular,
Young Bucks, super kicks, that type of shit, and death matches and shit like that. And we put it all together, and now we're setting it off in Houston.
Yes, sir. Of course, making an impact. So before we because we kind of jumped way ahead, but how did you get into wrestling?
My dad, he took me to the wrestling shows back in the, I would say, early 80s. Sam Houston Coliseum, Paul Bosch. That's for your old heads. He gave Mattress Mac and IW Marks their first shots at doing commercials. Oh, shit. So, he was the one that put those guys on. Right. Yeah, so, if there wasn't no Paul Bosch, there wouldn't be no Mattress Mac. There's no IW Marks.
That's lit as fuck,
bro. So it's... Yeah, I looked up to him because he was the first wrestler I got, and then after that, watching WWE. Yeah. And then,
just how it was. Yeah, it was popping back then.
In the 80s into the 90s was a crazy transition, and then and then me being a teenager, my taste of wrestling changed a little bit, and we just evolved into what I do now. Yeah, so because I've been a fan of God. I'm old, but it's for 30 plus years of just watching wrestling, probably more. And,
it was WWE.
It was WWF.
Yeah, WWF back then, and WCW, NWA.
Would you like to come? You want to come?
No, I don't want to be in the camera.
Okay, you don't have to. I got you. You can just.
Oh, this is nice.
This is Mrs. Jackson.
Yes. Hold up, I got you.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for Mrs. Jackson, she's the one that kind of does everything. So for local. She's our cheerleader.
I know. I see her at the show. She's very supportive.
Yeah, she does a lot of the merch. She helps, design some of the merch. I'm not the only one that does that stuff. She does that stuff too. So, big shout out to my wife for giving us these cool ideas and making our merch look fire.
I know the merch looks just as fire.
I'm inspired by like streetwear, dog. Like that's what it comes down to it. Streetwear in H-Town.
Alright, so if you don't know, what I just did was I gave her a mic, so
Say hi to Mrs. Jackson.
What up?
Oh yeah, so
It ain't local, it ain't fire.
Yes,
She might be running into every once in a while because she's like my story gap filler.
Oh yeah. So what was it? So now what's it like? What's your guys' story? Like, how did y'all meet? And then like, are you a fan of wrestling too? Or were you a fan like when you met him? Because you know what I'm saying.
No,
like,
she wasn't.
Exactly. See, that's what I was trying to get to.
I was a fan of wrestling like late 90s, like Stone Cold, The Rock, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was like one of my favorites.
Right.
And then I don't know, I grew out of it. And when I met him, he was going to wrestling shows all the time, and I wasn't really into it. I would show up to the shows just to like, be supportive. He's like, oh, I'm doing a show here.
Yeah.
He used to do shows with RWR.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was our Renegade Wrestling Revolution. We did like a couple years. We hired guys like BK.
Yeah.
And Gino and a lot of the guys. Kiefer Bartek wrestled for us. A lot of the old school like Roxy, Rachel Rose, all those girls. Everybody that's doing New Texas pretty much wrestled for us for RWR.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like some of them did, not all of them, but some were in different positions. But like, yeah, pretty much.
But that's lit though, yeah.
I do have to say though, like when he started Loco, it was like consuming a lot of his time.
Yeah.
But when I started showing up to shows, I was like, okay, like I see what all the like hype is about.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought me back into wrestling.
Right. To see
like
all
it made me like love wrestling again.
Right. See?
Yeah.
It's contagious. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get the bug, you get the bug
and
again.
it's like because if you've never been to a Loco show, it's a whole vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole vibe, and that kind of like draws you in,
Right.
And you make friends there too.
Yeah, for sure. Like
I've seen friends, a group of friends grow into like it was like 2 or 3 people. Now it's like 20 people.
Yeah, everyone's dabbing each other up. Everyone's dabbing each other up. Being like, oh, what's up, man? I remember you from the last show. And then they keep coming back. Cause
dude, there's been fans for 2 years now that have been going to Loco, like religiously. And that's pretty cool. And now a lot of them, I know their names. And I'm part of some of their like chat groups. And that's cool that they think of me like that. So it's cool. I like those.
I actually had a fan tell me that the reason she liked going to Loco shows because it felt like a family reunion.
Oh.
I know. I was like, that hit me hard. I was like, oh, I felt that when she said that. I was like, oh.
It's because like I feel like wrestling now, like you said, it's more popular, and it's just giving like the people who back then, who always been wrestling fans, like they always thought it was cool. But the stigma, they're like, oh, wrestling's fake. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You don't get made fun of, but you get like, really, dude? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this Loco really is like. It's a whole vibe.
I think with me is like it's not even like the wrestling, it's like an entertainment.
Yes.
Like the entertainment aspect of it,
right.
Like the storytelling, like the fans getting into it. Like sometimes I don't even pay attention to the wrestlers. I pay attention to like how the fans are acting.
Right.
Like the fans, like just seeing them, like their face light up and they get their megaphones and they're yelling and they're into it and like that feels good to like see that.
And that Loco shows, they be like, "Fuck you!" I was like,
"Oh my god!"
Loco don't play. I was like, "Damn!" When I first went,
there's this one infamous thing where we had like a near riot. I think BK turned on Stackhouse. Everybody thought Stackhouse was gonna get saved by BK, and nah, it didn't happen that way. He helped Kiefer win the Loco belt,
right?
And he retained it. And the fucking crowd went crazy. They threw beers. They threw chairs in the ring. They weren't happy, dog. They were like, basically, fuck you, Kiefer. And it made a great video.
Yeah.
It went viral for that one. and people were like, "Damn, what are they doing over there?"
Right.
And they saw like fans just go crazy and go ape shit because we didn't give them what they wanted. They wanted the good guy to win and the bad guy won, and they went ape shit, dog. Like that was a mess to clean, dog. Like if y'all want to go check it out, go to Instagram. Go under the hashtag if it ain't loco, it ain't fire, and you'll see it. Or Wrestling for Unicorns. Yeah, on Instagram you'll see it. It's fucking crazy.
So you've been doing this for a long time. Is there any like time where you lose motivation?
There's a lot of times where I've lost a lot of motivation in this because it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's hard to get 300 plus people in a fucking warehouse. Yeah. And it's really, really, that's one of those tasks that me and Pedro have to do when we're doing Loco, and we try our best. We advertise the best on videos, top-notch flyers. Ryan Shaw a flyer by Ryan Shaw. He hand draws a lot of our flyers, so you can go check it out. He's done some stuff with like Sammy Guevara. Mm-hmm. You see his stuff all in Pro Wrestling Tees. He's designed a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, man, he does stuff for us, and then Fire J does our videos. Tusslemania does a lot of stuff for us. Wrestling for Unicorns, obviously, and just Drown, Texas too. Mm-hmm. So he's here locally, and he does some stuff for us.
And gang.
Oh yeah, gang. Yeah, but a lot of people visually help us look better on the internet,
right.
You know, because that's what it is. A lot of people don't realize that we have to fucking look great on the internet, and that's a key thing. A lot of people don't realize we have to be like we're on Title Match, and Title Match has 2 million subscribers on their, or actually 3 now, on their YouTube, and dude, that's a good platform for us.
Right.
When we drop a match, you get thousands of views right off the bat, and we need stuff like that. I want it everywhere. Like that's why we do videos for Wrestling for Unicorns, because they made people viral. They made people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look what they did for Luigi Primo. Yeah. One moment he's doing a little old video of him doing some rolling the pizza dough.
In the dough, yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's on a fucking flight to Japan because of one viral video. That type of shit, like that's life-changing shit right there. So, that's what we need.
How is it? How do you feel when you see a wrestler like grow? Like you used to legit see a wrestler like, dang, I remember your first match, or like I remember the first couple matches, you did, and then you see them like go to like new heights.
Yeah, I think there's 2 of them that really like stand out to me. I think Brian Key, seeing his come up, because I used to watch him before he became the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in TASW, and he used to come out to Cotton Eye Joe, and that was a sight to see him. But now he's coming out to Swish Out, still tipping. That's really fucking cool. Ninja Max, another one before the mask. He was Capoeira Kid, and I was in Japan for Noah. And
I know, and he's going crazy out there.
Yeah,
too,
bro, he's going viral so many times, millions of views.
Millions.
It's crazy. So just seeing that they started in my shit and now they're like blowing up, that's fucking cool.
Right, bro.
Yeah.
And then I know, bro, it has to be a good sight to see.
Yeah.
And then Brian Keith, he still shows love, like he pops up, and he's like he's a big name in the Texas scene.
He's a big name in independence
wrestling,
right now.
Yeah, in the wrestling scene, because I seen his schedule and I was like, because
he was in GCW last weekend.
Exactly.
He did both dates. He did St. Louis and he did a small town in Illinois, not Chicago, but a small town in Illinois.
Right, yeah. I've seen his schedule when he posts it, and I'm just like, this man is just working.
Yeah, he's doing West Coast Pro. If you got IWTV, my wife is a big BK fan. She got all the merch. No lie. I'm a big fan. I like watching him. I saw his match with Chris Sabin and on Wrestling Revolver. Right. I need to go check it out. It's on Fight TV Plus. Go check it out. That's a match. That's a banger.
Right, bro. So, how'd you come up with Loco Wrestling? And Loco with a K.
Loco was actually an idea of Pedro. Pedro came up with that. Lowrider came up with that. One day he was like coming up with the name for Loco, and he was like, let's do Loco Wrestling. And then I was like, let's do Loco with a K. Because he wanted to do Loco with a C. So I Googled Loco Wrestling, and not that many popped up with the K. So, nothing popped up with the K, but with the C, yes. So we popped up with Loco Wrestling. He came up with the old school vintage logo, and the rest is history. And then I started promoting with it. And we did the first 2 shows in the pandemic.
Ooh, what was it like putting on shows during the pandemic?
That show's fucking crazy. We got a lot of shit for it, dog. And then we did the first death match during the pandemic, and dog, we got so much shit for that because there was a lot of blood.
Yeah,
there was a lot of. The fans wanted to get entertained. They were already like done being at the house,
right?
And they needed some fucking entertainment, and we were doing it. So.
Hey, we had cabin fever.
That's a real one, though. Yeah, everybody was ready to get out. They were ready to see it.
Yeah, exactly. So we did shows. We flew motherfuckers in,
Dang.
and that was crazy back then. We're flying people back in. We flew or some people were driving.
Yeah.
You know, but they didn't give a fuck. They just wanted to wrestle, and we did it. We said fuck it, and we got a lot of shit for it. But now we're local wrestling, and we're the ones that took the chances nobody wanted to do. So. That's why we're at right now.
It's a lot of respect, bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot of respect. What's some advice you would give to young promoters coming up or trying to start their own, promotion?
If you're trying to start your own promotion, don't think that just putting on a flyer on the internet's gonna cut it. You need to do more than that. You need to meet with the fans. You need to talk to sponsors or get sponsors and get business behind you. Get a community behind you. Network. That's the key thing. Me, I travel and network with other promoters. That's the key thing. If you want your promotion to be out there, you need to know promoters everywhere because you might never know. You might need favors.
Right.
You know what I mean? You return those favors back. You know what I mean? And don't ask for shit. Just do those favors. You know what I mean? Don't never ask for return. Take the challenge. Take the chance because
pay your dues.
Pay your dues. Yep.
Pay dues, dog. And don't expect shit. Just say, hey, I'm gonna put you down. Let's do this. That type of shit, pay dues, and I've done a lot of them to go to this point. I got a lot of noses. I got a lot of no's before I got a lot of yeses.
Yeah.
So now, whenever I holler them, majority of the time they're yeses now. And it took a long time to get to that point. So, work hard, guys.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, the thing is, Jaime has a lot of haters, but, when you start getting big, that's what happens. You get haters or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the stuff that they don't see, the stuff that they don't give him credit for, is stuff like that. He paid his dues. He stayed at shows late, breaking down the ring. He's trained before, little stuff here and there, but he's trained before. He's, set up merch tables at shows, So he's paid his dues, and I feel like a lot of people don't see that.
Right.
That's all, behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all stuff that, help build him up to where he is, and a lot of people don't see that, and the people that do just they don't give him enough credit.
Right.
Yeah,
and they think that it just came easy. They think it just
happened overnight.
But it's a lot of paying dues, and it's a lot of driving wrestlers to airports and getting to know people and making sure the fans are good, and it's what do the fans want, it's a lot of little stuff like that behind the scenes that people don't see, and he doesn't get enough credit for it, and I feel like that's a big part of why Loco is as big as it is.
Right.
Yeah, because the people don't realize that I never, people say, I get that stigma of, oh, Jaime's a mark-ass promoter, I'm a fan turned into a promoter, and that's a hard, how would you say, people don't respect me because I used to be the fan and they saw me as a fan when I was in my young 20s and in my 30s, and now that I'm where I'm at, it's it was just called growth, man.
Exactly.
Exactly. And they don't visualize that. I didn't go look when GCW hit us up to do the collab, we were just making so much noise. They hollered at us.
You put in the work for that.
Yeah, we made enough noise for them to hit me up on my DMs. Hey, let's do something together. And Circle 6, they came a few times down, but they realized that, hey man, Jaime brings a lot of value, or Loco, not Jaime, Loco brings a lot of value to it. Not just me, Pedro brings it, all my crew brings value to it. And they saw working with us was a great thing, and we packed the fucking house. We gave them one of their best drawing houses in Houston, because they teamed up. We did a versus, and dude, that made a lot of noise. That went viral. Maybe people were talking about it, but it's just, I don't look for these people. They come looking for us because Loco is a strong brand. And some people have to realize that, I get a lot of shit for a lot of things, but Man, it comes with the territory, man. You know what I mean? Like, I move forward because those guys are not, their opinions are not going to determine what the destiny of local wrestling is going to happen.
Right,
because, like, we're still doing shit, and it doesn't even matter if they don't like us, man. Dude, like, I'm sorry, dog, that y'all don't like us because your time will come when y'all start setting it off and y'all start, like, conquering Texas and making a buzz. Dog, don't trust me, local wrestling's gonna holler at you. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm trying to be the best, and if y'all want to be the best, y'all need to shine. And I'll holler at you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna kiss your ass, but I'm gonna holler at you because I feel like you're an asset to the company.
Yeah.
You know, because I need people that are down for local wrestling, dog. Like, not just another date on their calendar, because I don't like that. I want them to treat it special, because local wrestling is special. It's not like we give it to them every month. We give it to them every 3 months, and we stack the card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what they want. They want to see the names they see on IWTV, Fight TV Plus, on YouTube, and the clips on the internet. They want those guys, and we're gonna bring them. We bring Commander, all these fire ass guys that they want to see, and we'll continue to do that, man. So we're gonna continue to do that. We're not gonna change for nobody, dog. Like, just because y'all don't like our style, fuck it, dog. Turn it off. You know, because there's a lot of other people tuning in.
Right, so, straight up, man. So besides, you know, the little hostility right there.
Yeah, I know I get mad because I know I get a little worked up because it's I don't really get to voice my opinion, because sometimes if I say it on the internet, it hurts people's feelings. And now they can't really say nothing. I'm saying it so they can, like...
You're breaking it down.
Yeah, breaking it down for them, because they don't... Sometimes me typing it is different from me saying it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So I hope that my message gets out and y'all really listen to it over and over again, because my intentions and my decisions are not with the ill will of intentions when I make my decisions for Loco. It's just the way they are. You know, and that's just the way they are. You know what I mean? And they hate it, and sorry.
And it's a lot of fan influence too.
Right.
I listen to them.
Of fan influence.
You listen to the fans.
Yeah, dog, I am a fucking fan, dog. That's the reason why I listen to them, because they're the ones that pay the fucking tickets. You know, if they want this guy, I'm gonna give it to them. If they don't fucking like that guy, I'm not gonna bring them. If they're like, oh, fuck that guy, I'm like, yeah, the fans are right. You know what I mean? Like, or if they just hate him with the passion, sometimes I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna keep them around, dog. You know, that it just depends. You know, it's what I see, because it's like, I don't pay attention to really the wrestling inside during that time during the event. I'm looking at what the fans are doing, what they're reacting, looking at their faces, seeing what they're doing. That's how I learn what they want. You know, what they react, because the wrestling, dog, like, I'll watch it the next day. It's always live and it's always on the internet. But, like, seeing it and seeing the fans' reactions, that's how I learn.
Right.
Pedro books the shows. You know, Lowrider books all the shows. He's the guy that puts on a lot of the stuff together. Sometimes I put my little input, but I show them the visual of local wrestling, you know.
Right.
Pedro is the one that, like, puts La Parca Negra versus Aerostar together. You know what I mean? He puts Shane Mercer versus Kid Bandit together. He's that guy. He's that... a lot of the stuff that we're doing, he put a lot of it together, you know. I have my little points here and there, but, like, it was majority of him, man. Me, I wanted to call it the bigger picture, all that shit, the videos, that's all me. That's just how I visualize Loco. I want to see movie trailer type shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, get it ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Hype.
Get him hype.
Yeah.
I'm the hype guy. It's Loco is a lot of shit, dog. You know what I mean? I want to explain everything in a nutshell, but I'm so ADHD. If I'm not smoking a lot of weed, that's when I really calm down. But, like, I'm not smoking, so I'm like... you know what I mean? Like, I'm like all over the place. I have like...
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So back to what he was saying, where he's like looking around to see what the crowd's doing and the fans are doing. Like, one of the best feelings at a Loco show is when the crowd is like super into it and they start banging on the wall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've experienced
that whole building sounds like it's shaking.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, you can't explain it until you like experience it. Like, you feel the whole like building just shake and the energy's like, it's a lot.
It's too much. We've made high-level wrestlers really nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember we had Psycho Clown, and Psycho Clown was so nervous because the crowd was, like, so gassed up, it wasn't even funny, bro. They had their horns, they had their...
Gassed up, no pun intended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were fucking just ready, dog, you know, and that's what Loco is, where our fans are fucking lit.
Right.
TDC, the Kiefer Corner, the Hardcores, all of them, the Locoholics, dog, they're the ones that make it, dog. I'm like, I put them over a million times. I'll say the same shit over, so...
So what's your opinion on right now, like the whole Texas indie scene? Where do you think it's at right now?
I feel like a lot of people are doing I feel like they're doing the same thing, bro. It's like, it's getting kind of stagnant, but the thing is there people that are going to step up? I hope so. There's a few guys out there, but we're shining right now, but I feel like there's just too much drama in it. I feel like the drama's taken away from what we're really the main goal of Texas wrestling is because everybody wants to be number one.
Right.
You know, and that's cool. I'm glad that wrestling can be competitive, but like, y'all need to keep y'all's eyes on the prize to like really promote y'all's like promotions and kind of steer away from what everybody else is doing, dog.
Right.
You know, make it different. Don't just put a flyer out there. That's it. That like y'all just need to do something different. You know. Because you already know what pops off in the internet, man. Unless you live in a small Texas town, there's a lot of great people doing stuff in small towns. But, like, if you're in a big city, you need to do way more than that.
Right.
You know, because small town wrestling, you know, you got a little vicinity. You can get the town popping. But...
It's Houston.
It's Houston, dog. It's a different animal,
Houston.
bro.
You gotta
go big or go home.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I always tell people, man, y'all do fire in these small towns, but do it in the big city, dog, because that's a real fucking task right there. I'm like, ooh, yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
So
you used to want to be a wrestler?
I trained because I did a couple matches and that was it. Pedro trained me, Lowrider did.
Right.
And we trained for like a year and a half off and on. Just to get into shape and it was just to do a couple matches. I did.
Well, that's because it was during the pandemic.
It was during the pandemic.
Oh,
we were bored.
You really did. You didn't have nothing to do, so it's like.
I was Reggie Jackson.
Oh.
I played the first Reggie Jackson. I teamed up with Papa Dingo, and.
Against Joe
Alonzo, Bryson Scott, and Randy Blakely. That was a pretty cool match.
Yeah.
I did some cool shit, and that was my first official match. That was Reggie Jackson's House of Horrors. That was like our third or fourth show, and that was pretty lit. That was during the pandemic.
What was that like? Did you like experience? How were the bumps? You know.
The bumps was already. I was already used to the bumps, but now just being in a match and she was. It was when she was out.
He needed a couple of days off.
Yeah, because it was really really cool to see my friends and family see me in my first match. It was proud. It was a proud moment. I loved it, and
even my family showed up.
Was it real? Did you embrace it? You know, like the entrance. What would you come out? What was your entrance music for your first match?
The entrance music that we come out to this day, like when me and Pedro come out, I Want to Get High by fucking Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Because we're Loco Wrestling. So, that was my theme song, and the last thing there was me chugging a beer at the end of the ramp with Papa Dingo and who else? And El Silencio, and it was cool. It was really, really cool, man. And then walking to the back, and Sammy was there, and all these other fools were there. Sammy Guevara from AEW, Pedro, and all them, and they like just
talk about those promos for that, because those promos for that were freaking amazing.
Yeah, what was
the Joe Alonzo one where he's walking through the cemetery?
Joe Alonzo was walking to the cemetery, and he was talking shit about me and my whole crew, and
he's like, who are they even? Like, I'm going down there to Texas to wrestle them. Like, nobody knows them.
Yeah, it was a really cool. Just the lead up to that, it was really really cool. And man, you can go back to the Title Match Network, cheap plug, and you can watch all that
El Silencio también cut a promo too.
Yeah, I think El Silencio had a promo war with Sammy too, so that was pretty cool. So it was just. We had so many people during the pandemic. We had MVP, We've had, MVP randomly popped up. I think it was our second show when the smoke clears. And he randomly popped up. He pulled up to the premiere, walked out, cut a promo, fucking saved Primo cut, and fucking it was over, dog. Like, and then he walked out. It was when he was with the Hurt. It was the Hurt party.
The Hurt business?
The Hurt business.
For real? With the Hurt business?
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
And it was during the pandemic, and he shitted on the fucking Houston Premier Arena, but it was fucking cool, man. So it was just cool to see. So I'm okay with it, dog. So fucking MVP at the warehouse, dog. That was fire,
bro. That is lit.
Yeah.
So what's important to you in like making the best match? Is it the wrestlers? Is it the story? Is it the build up? You know what I'm saying? Because you know how all these different aspects come into play with it. What's the key to you that has to be like?
I think we just give them one or two main storylines. I don't know what story I'm telling. I think I need to tell the next in season 3, which is coming up, like the bigger picture. I think I'm gonna tell more story with Chris, and there's a couple other people that I really want to tell stories with, but man, you're just gonna have to wait and see season 3 because we still got Wrestle Swamp July 15th, and then the Boiler Room August the 26th. I got a lot of shit planned up, and it's gonna all culminate from those events. So if you're at the 27th, hopefully y'all tune in because you'll see what's gonna happen in July, and then July is gonna move into August because I like to do it like that. But it's not gonna be too many storylines. It's gonna be like 1 or 2. But I like to give them super matches. You know, let me put this guy with this guy and this guy with this guy, or you know, that's what we do. It's just like we'll give them 1 or 2 storylines, but the rest is gonna be just like bangers, dog. Like I'm gonna fly motherfuckers in, dog. Like we spare no expense for the Locaholics because they deserve the best because they were there when we were doing boo-boo shows, and they put up with our boo-boo shows, and then we started like stacking the cards up, and they stayed. So we're gonna keep the same momentum. Might even do bigger shit. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
I look forward to the promos. Like, to me, I'm a sucker for a good promo. Because, you know, coming from that era of like The Rock and Stone Cold, like, oh my gosh, The Rock like cut amazing promos. Right. You know, and I feel like that just lures you in, like, okay, I like this. Like, I want to see more. Like,
oh, he talking that shit.
You're talking that shit.
He calling you a jabroni.
Let's see if he can back it up.
I think a promo in local wrestling history that really pissed a lot of people off was probably when Kiefer burned the local belt. Because he burned our championship belt, and that was leading into fucking he had just beat what, like Stackhouse, right? And he had the championship, and he was like, you know, you're
at PFW, right?
Yeah, PWF, and what's crazy? And yeah, shout out to PWF. But yeah, PWF, man, you got a little piece of my heart, dog. But anyways, he won it there, and then he burned the belt, and the fans went crazy. They went fucking crazy. They weren't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. It was an impromptu. Yeah, it was. It was just like, it was a joke as an idea, and they burned the belt, and I was like, all right, cool. It made sense. We got another belt. It was like the money wasn't even an issue, but I felt like it made great television. Yeah, it made great story. It made a great story, and people started talking about it because people were like legit pissed. Because once I posted the video, I was like, fuck, I can't believe it. Because I saw a clip sent to me, and I was like, fuck. I didn't even know what to say. I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have stopped that shit. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. And it made all the fans emotional. It made me a little emotional. I was like, fuck, man, I can't believe I came up with that, dog. But, you know, it was our first belt, and nobody actually, I don't have it. I don't even know where the pieces are at. That's what's so crazy. So the belt is no longer, I don't even know what happened. I don't got nothing of the old belt. So it's just like, it's crazy. It just got burned up.
And that's that.
Hey, but kids replica belts coming soon.
Oh yeah, the kid replica belts coming soon, Daddy.
Because did they make one of that one?
Yeah, they're making. I'm making replicas for the bigger picture. I'll have the first belt, the second belt, and the new Fire Daddy Championship.
Oh damn, that's pretty.
Yeah,
lit,
it's like
with the sugar skull on it.
With the sugar skull. Oh my god, I just got my belt maker, and then I'm getting 2 belts made. I'm getting the new belt made, and I'm getting another one, the Fire Daddy Championship, the new one.
So are you guys having like two? Is it gonna be like? Because I know it's the heavyweight, the big title and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be like an undercard title?
Yeah, that's the Fire Daddy Championship. It's the Sugar Skull belt.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing that one to crown the first one. It's gonna be Tiburon Blanco, Little Poppy, AWOL, Roman Rose, and Jay Davis.
Got some fire people.
Yeah, so it's people say I don't give Texas enough credit. What do all those guys have in common? They're all from fucking Texas. Some are from Houston. Well, majority of them from Houston, right? Right. Everybody in the match.
Yeah,
they're pretty. It's an H-Town.
And they're all shining too.
They're all shining in their own ways.
Right.
And I put them all on. Like, dude, like, I feel like it's H-Town right there.
Yeah.
So don't give me no shit for that match. That match is fire, and it's all Houston guys.
Hey, that's good as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
For real, I'm excited. Hopefully, I go to that show. Make sure y'all come to that show right there to see the first. What was the title card?
Fire Daddy
Championship. It just has a nice ring to it. It has like a catch. Like what do you say? Like
Fire Daddy Championship. You know why? And a fan. I got that name from a fan because I made a post on Facebook. What should the secondary belt be called? And this one fan, Jason Burke. Shout out to Jason Burke. He said, call it the Fire Daddy Championship. And I was like, oh shit, that's money right there. So, dude, we got the ideas from fans because they know what's best for Loco, dog.
Right. Hey, bro, what was it like getting chokeslammed? Because like I mentioned before, I seen you get chokeslammed and I was just like, oh, there you go.
My hip was hurting a lot and my back hurts a little bit right now. Like I don't know why, but my lower back hurts a little bit because I probably took a lot of bumps in my time. I was practicing in Lucha Libre with Pedro. That shit hurts, man. A lot of that.
He was off for a couple of days.
Yeah, I was off for a couple of days, so I'm really, really tired. So, but yeah, taking bumps is really hard. So.
Especially with age. That's how as time goes on.
Yeah, I'm in my 40s already, and it's really, really hard. And I like promoting. I don't want to be a wrestler, but man, Bo Mir wanted to choke slam me, and he got me. Fuck nasty.
He was shining. He was shining.
He was shining too hard. Bo Mir wanted to shine too hard, so he choke slammed me. So that's how he had to shine, dog.
Who's in your Mount Rushmore Wrestling?
Oh, my Mount Rushmore. How many is on the Mount Rushmore? 4, right? Is it 4?
I don't even know, to be honest. But just give me your list. Okay. Give me your list.
Okay, my list and my Mount Rushmore. First guy probably has to be Terry Funk. That was my first wrestler I really, really liked as a kid. Hey, Hulk Hogan. Probably RVD. And then as a young teenager, probably I would say Kenta Kobashi, dog. Like he's fire, dog. Like I love him, dog. So Kenta Kobashi, dog. Fuck, look him up.
Bro, do you ever? Cause like when you mentioned Hulk Hogan, like legit at my house, like randomly, I'm like, look here, brother. Like I just be saying that type of stuff just randomly. Like, let me tell you something, brother.
I love me some Hulk Hogan.
Do you ever say like random wrestling stuff?
Chris does. Chris Carter, he lives with me, and he's always a macho man. He's like, ooh yeah, listen. He's always does that, and he prank calls a lot of people doing that. Big shout out to me, Chris Carter, dog. You know what I mean? He's my unofficial son.
Nah, but wrestling is just like so. It's just like so interesting. It's its own. It's so unique. Cause like I said, the energy it gives off, it attracts people. So and it brings people together, like you guys said.
Man, it brings a lot of people together. I like it, man. And I was in Colorado not too long ago, a couple of weeks, and I was with the Unicorns, Jacob Fatu, Sam Stackhouse, and I'm trying to think, and Dante Leon, and Chris, and we're in Colorado in the Airbnb, and we're just hanging out, and he goes, just imagine like a couple of years ago we were like just taking the chance doing loco, and now we're like fucking doing crazy shit.
Yeah, like going places.
That we're flying to fucking like Denver, Colorado.
Snow.
Yeah, like 1 minute it was no snow, and then we wake up in the morning, it was fucking covered in snow, and now we're doing cool shit. We're going to fucking Denver. Chris is going to LA because of Circle 6, and they came down here, and they're hooking some of the homies up, and it's just really, really cool to see, dog. Like, that you know, the companies out there are using the guys that at Loco.
Right.
And that's the key thing. It's like putting our name out there so some of our guys can blow up. Because that's the key thing, though. Like, it's not about... That's what makes Loco so special. I'm hoping that people use the platform to take it to somewhere else. So.
Because for me personally, how I... Like, the one common one I seen, and you mentioned him too, Sammy. How he, like, you know, was doing indie shows in Houston. Like, legit, people knew him. Like, I've met people who were like, I remember watching him here, you know, at the Houston Premier Arena. And now I'm like, I didn't hear about him until he was on TV. And it's just crazy. So, like, what...
He didn't perform. He was with AEW when he was doing our pandemic shows.
Damn.
Yeah, he was part of that Inner Circle shit.
Right, with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that's when he first started. And he was just doing that as a, like, you know, we paid him his fee and stuff like that. We booked him for the show. But he also was just, like, living in Texas. He's living in Houston.
Right.
He don't live in Houston anymore. He lives in, I think, Florida now.
Right.
But yeah, man, he was there, bored. He said, hey, come down. We'll pay you to come down. And it's been, like, cool since. But he used to do shows for us back in the day.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, back in, like, 2015, 2016.
Real young.
Yeah, he was very young. And he was doing shows for Pedro. He was doing some shows for us.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was cool. So
that shit is crazy, man. So where do you see yourself in Loco in 5 years, bro?
5 years. Hopefully do a couple shows, you know, either outside, like, you know, like maybe we can do one in Dallas or Laredo, maybe do that. And I've always wanted to do a show in LA. That would be cool. We already did one in Colorado. So, you know, just growing, you know, the brand even more, man. And hopefully GCW comes down and does another collab with us. Circle 6. I've tried to reach out to XPW, maybe doing collabs in the future with other companies. Whenever they want to come down to Texas or Houston in general, we'll lay out the red carpet. That's what I want. You know, for whenever they come down, they'll come fuck with us. In 5 years, if I'm okay with doing super shows and not doing it all year round, and then people coming down and little off shows here and there.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. If we stay in Houston and we don't grow, I'm still okay with that too. You know, but we're making money out of wrestling shows and we're selling private shows. So the business is growing. It's just like, where we see it in 5 years, hopefully all that and more. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Can I put my 2 cents in?
Yeah.
So my goal, and this is dreaming big, of course, but my personal goal would be to, like, tap into the LA market and maybe, like, network with some, like, growers out there and get into, like, the legal marijuana industry.
Oh.
And have, like, our own, like, local brand bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should
like,
be fine.
Different
That'd be pretty
pre-roll products and...
Come to the show at the door. Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, thanks for coming in.
Sponsored.
Get some local.
Sponsored by Swish the Sweet.
Yeah, I know. I've always wanted to do stuff. We're sponsored by certain companies, but like, man, to be sponsored like that would be a goal of mine.
Right.
You know, like having our own like strain or having our own brand of blunts. That would be fucking cool.
That should be dope as fuck.
Yeah, I know. That's
Fire.
just I mean, you know, people have given me shoes.
With the title on the side.
I've had custom shirts and custom shoes made of Loco, but like having the weed strain would be fucking.
That's next level.
Yeah,
that's different right there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I said, dreaming big. That's dreaming big.
Hell yeah, for real. I've always thought I'm a fire daddy OG. You know?
Yeah, already, man.
Yeah, for real.
So would you like? So, you know, you see big companies like AEW, WWE, ROH, you know what I'm saying? So would you try to take local, like, to a bigger market, or would you, like, prefer it to be, like, indie, underground type style, you know what I'm saying?
I like keeping it underground because there's a lot of things that at bigger venues they wouldn't let me they wouldn't let me do over there.
Right.
You know, I've never pushed Loco to kids. Never. If you look at my posts, yeah, there's kids there, but their parents take them there. But I've never pushed Loco to kids.
Parental advisory.
Yeah.
Advisory.
Pretty much there's gonna be a lot of F-bombs, a lot of chaos.
A lot of fuck yous.
A lot of fuck yous, that type of shit. So, it's like...
A lot of blazing, too.
Yeah.
I did finally had to, like, tell him to come up with, like, a design where if there is kids that want to, like, show off the brand, you know, so I gave him the idea of the Joji logo.
Right.
Where it's like, I don't know if you've seen it, It's our cat Joji. He's considered the local cat.
I think I have, yeah.
We took him to like 3 Loco shows when he was a baby. But when I showed up with him, they were like, "Oh, that's the Loco cat," because Jaime would put him on the Facebook Lives and stuff. So we had a design made where he was like the lucky cat, and he's holding a Loco logo, but there's no like marijuana on it whatsoever. It's just the cat, because I told Jaime, I was like, I want to like pass out stickers to like kids or people that don't want the marijuana, stigma or whatever, and that that helped a lot. So it's like we don't promote to kids, but I told him, I was like, there is kids there.
Kids welcome.
No, I always tell people, is it like all day? Is kids welcome? I tell them, there's gonna be a death match, there's gonna be foul language, and there's gonna be a little bit of chaos. So I warn them before they ask me those questions all the time, and I answer every question as possible. The only thing that I say, there's not gonna be no nudity. That type of shit. But I've seen some wrestling shows that did have a little bit of nudity in it, but like I don't do that shit, and I'll never do that. But if the if the fans ask for it, I might. You know what I mean? I might. But I will never do that. You know what I mean? I'll never cross that line, because I already know fans are gonna bring their kids.
I know, but like even when the kids there, they get into it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're like scared in their seat. They're like, they want to say fuck you to the wrestler too, but they look at their parent and they're just like
Thomas's kids. Shout out Thomas.
Yeah, for real. Thomas's kids, they be throwing out the finger to some of these wrestlers. Yeah, and they're little girls. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. You see what I'm saying? Like it gets it gets you that hyped and that pumped. You know what I'm saying? So kids welcome, but just parents know what you.
No, the only thing that I warn them about is like, it's not the wrestling that we're showing them and whatever. It's like sometimes it's just the death matches, because there's like glass.
Oh yeah.
Like
blood.
It's blood and stuff like that,
and beer that they just
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it gets crazy. That's the only thing that I really warn them about, the death matches, because it's like, hey, get back, because there's gonna be a lot of glass flying. Because
I actually have a story about that. So at the last big show. At the funeral, I was in charge of the door, and this dad and this mom, probably in their early 30s, they came up with their 2 little girls. Their little girls were, I don't know, maybe like 10 and 8 or something, and he wanted to, buy tickets at the door, and I told him, I was like, before I sell you these tickets, I'm gonna, warn you, like, it's gonna get violent. We're having the ambulance match, like, it's gonna get really bloody, and so I thought it was kind of deter him or whatever, but he's like, oh no, they love that stuff. Like, the more violent the better. I was like, all right. So I mean, at least I didn't feel so bad about it. I warned him. He still wanted to, like, have them experience that. So I was like, okay, like, I'm not gonna judge you on your parenting. Like, you do you. And have fun.
Enjoy the show. Be on your way.
They love it.
But I think there's a little bit of everything. I just warn them about the violence.
But it's good, what I'm saying, that you guys are like considerate about that, what I'm saying?
Yeah, because there's a lot of things, some parents don't want to expose their kids to some of that stuff, so, at least I warn them. At least I warn y'all.
I give y'all a warning.
Yeah, exactly, so don't think I'm a fucking asshole for that, so I try to do my best.
Bro, you know who you brought in, who I was a big fan of? Hernandez.
Oh yeah, I love me some Hernandez.
Bro, that's my dude. I remember watching him all the time on TNA when I was a kid. Like, that's one of my...
Dude, I used to watch Hernandez at TASW when he was Hot Stuff Hernandez.
Damn.
And what was so cool is that for this bigger picture, I was going to book Negro Butcher versus fucking Hernandez. That's a match I used to watch when I was a young teenager. Like, I would say a late teens, 18, 19. Dog, they were killing it in my indies back when I was going. And seeing that match, and I wanted to recreate a match that I saw when I was a young kid. Now that I got the money to do it and the fucking, the juice to do it, I wanted to do it, and I almost had it, and I broke my heart when Negro couldn't make it. And dude, it's just that type of shit. I'm a big fan of Hernandez. I had Hernandez locked in for the bigger picture against fucking Negro, and it was gonna old school fucking Texas death match, bro.
Well, that was the first flyer you released, right?
Yeah, man. I was like, dude, everybody was going fucking crazy. They were like, yes, finally. And, I don't know, some overbooking, double book shit, like, I mean, it happens. It's just, it's dumb shit, dog.
But it's nice to see the fan and you still there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how people, like, you start doing it and then you lose, like, once you do it so often, you start losing the, like, enjoyment of it. But you still have that fan in you where you're just like, bro, this is actually going to happen.
Right? I put the breads there.
Everything.
Let's get the flights. I'm down. What's up? And it don't happen.
Then things happen.
Yeah, motherfuckers back out. And,
it's all good, though.
Yeah. It's like with any industry.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's whatever.
Gotta keep rolling,
Yeah, roll with the punches and fuck it, dog. It happens.
Right,
card subject to change.
Yeah, card subject to change. That's what this says on every flyer. So
what's up, man? We're about to wrap it up. Anything you want to say to your fellow local holics out there? You know what I'm saying? Let them know what's coming up and everything.
Yeah, we sold a lot of private parties. Where there's one coming up. I think that one might be open to the public. It's with Elevated Smoke. We might do one more pop up coming up pretty soon too. I'll let y'all know about that one. That one is on the works. July the 5th, well, May 27th, the Bigger Picture Super Show. July 15th, Wrestle Swamp, that was gonna with Sabu. Yeah, August the 26th, the Boiler Room, that one's gonna be our 30-year anniversary. As an official 30-year anniversary show. And in between that, I have something in June that's with some metal bands. It's called the 610 Takeover. That one's coming up. Yeah, just check out my Facebook. And then there's one with BCHC. It's called Texas Hellfest Volume 2. That one's going to be at Trip 6. July, I think it's the 20... I forgot, man. But we're going to be there. Loco, no ring. So...
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for both of y'all coming. You know what I'm saying? This was G Talks Wrestling. Hey, this was the first G Talks Wrestling podcast. For any other wrestler, any promoter out there that want to come through, come on. We the podcast that gives a slam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gives a slam.
Gives a slam. I appreciate you for coming through, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We out.